Today is the library book sale and I have $40, so let's go see what we can find. So we made it up here in pretty good time, actually. They've been open for 13 minutes and the parking lot is already so full and I'm officially overwhelmed and I have not even been in there yet. So I love that for me. Anyway, I do have a list of books that I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. I'm going to do my very best to have some self-control because I don't want an out-of-control TBR. I only want to pick up books that, if they're in good condition, if I've read them and loved them and I just want to have them on my shelf, or books that are high up on my radar that I was like, oh yeah, that's actually been a book I've been wanting to read really, really soon. Like, I don't want to get books just to stick on a TBR shelf. You know what I mean? So I have these books. They're the ones that I always look out for at garage sales, used bookstores, library book sales, little free libraries, things like that. Just books that I've read and loved that I just want to have on my shelf. And off the top, I'll put it on the screen, but off the top of my head is Babel, Lovely War, The Grace Year, and then there's a couple others that now I can't think about it, but they're on my list. And then I also want to grab a couple of books for some little free libraries because I want to go little free library hunting. And I don't have very many books to put back into the library. So I would like to pick up just some American Girl books for the girls in my neighborhood, maybe some Percy Jackson, things like that. Things that I loved and was nostalgic for me and can give back to the community. But I'm going to stop talking because there's so many people in there and I want to look at the books. So let's go. Well, that was fun. I was in there for, I kid you not, 2 hours. And I did not see every single thing that they had out to offer. There were just so many books and so many people. I couldn't even film in there because there's just so much going on. But that's okay. I had a lot of fun. I got several books, actually. I spent $26. And they were not the books that were on my list. They're not one single book that was on my list or on my radar did they have. However, the books that I did pick up were ones that I also, they weren't on my dream list for I've read them and loved them and want them on my shelf. But they were on my list of, I see everybody talk about them and they're on my Goodreads TBR. So that I wanted to read them at some point. And so the ones that I did pick up are the ones that really just kind of felt like I'd read them soon. And then I did find 3 books, I believe, that I've heard not one single person talk about, but I read the summary of it and I was like, I want to read it. So I'm going to go home and put them in the freezer. I'm going to disinfect them and then we'll do a little haul when that's all done. And then we'll see if we can get some of the library tape off of the covers. I don't know if that's possible, but that's okay. Also, did I sign up for the summer reading program because it's dinosaur themed? Yes, I did. I did in fact do that. And I got a free carabiner. So, hey, this is really awesome. I don't care how much of a dork it makes me. I'm so excited for this. Let's go home and read. Actually, we're gonna go to the gym. I was supposed to go to the gym this morning, but I wanted to come here first thing. So now we're gonna go spend 2 hours at the gym and then we'll go home. But I'll see you guys when I'm done disinfecting the books. Alright, it's been a few days. I have my Jurassic Park shirt on in honor of the library reading program being dinosaur themed. And over the past couple of days, I've actually looked at a lot of the activities and yeah, you get to color in points for reading for 30 minutes every single day, which no problem, right? But then a lot of the activities are go out in nature, go take a time to journal, make a time capsule, visit a mural, go to one of the library events, do something for others, write a letter to somebody. So really just a lot of really cool things to grow community, and that's lovely. So Jurassic Park shirt, dinosaur themed reading program at the library. Now let's get into the books that I got. So $26 bought me 9 books. 4 of them are hardcover, so pretty excited about that. Let's just go ahead and go through them. First up, we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and I read The Paris Apartment by her 2 years ago. I didn't hate it. It wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to pick up another one of her books. So there's this one. And then this one has been all over my For You page. Everybody's talking about it. It's in every single person's like haul or TBR video that I've seen lately. So The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. I don't know anything about it other than I'm pretty sure it's a movie or a show on Netflix or something, but I have not watched it. So I'm very excited to read the book. I love thrillers in the summer, so this is gonna be great. Thrillers in the summer. And then we have To Kill a Kingdom. This is a fantasy, and from what I'm understanding, she is a siren and he is a prince who sets out his mission is to eliminate all sirens, but they fall in love. So that should be fun. I also kind of had to tape this one back together. I was trying to get the library call tag, what's it called? Shelving number off, and it accidentally ripped all the way up. So I had to tape it back together, but that's okay. I think it looks rustic and beautiful still. And then this book is heavy. I have this book. I could not put it back. I kept picking it up and putting it back and picking it up and putting it back. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it. It's $2. Who cares? The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. It says, breathtakingly suspenseful and beautifully written, The Historian is the story of a young woman plunged into a labyrinth where the secrets of her family's past connect in an inconceivable evil. The dark 15th century reign of Vlad the Impaler and a time-defying pact that may have kept his awful work alive through the ages. The search for the truth becomes an adventure of monumental proportions, taking us from monasteries and dusty libraries to the capitals of Eastern Europe, and a feat of storytelling so rich and hypnotic, so exciting that it has enthralled readers around the world. I have never heard of this. I've never heard anybody talk about this, but I could not put it back, so pick this one up. Very excited for that. This one, I accidentally picked this one up. It's British Murder by Leslie Meyer, and there's 2 books in one in here, and I think it's like amateur sleuth. Like, she's in college and takes a trip to Europe, and she finds herself in the middle of a criminal mastermind scheme. And then the second book, it looks like she goes to a gala and finds herself in the middle of a murder investigation. So very amateur sleuth. Like, it seemed cute, but I had it in my hand when I was looking through the thriller section and was immediately like drawn to something else, so I just got put in my stack while I was looking through other things, and I kind of forgot that I had it when I checked out. I might read this, I might not. This might go in a little free library. I think it sounds cute, but also I don't really know if it's up my alley. You know what I mean? We'll see. I have book 1 of The Maze Runner. I have wanted to read this for so long, and I didn't know it was a YA book. I thought it was an adult book, but this was definitely in the YA section at the book sale. But I'm very excited about this, and we'll see. How long is this series? Is this like a trilogy, or am I committing to like 15 books here? I don't know. I also don't know how I feel about that, but I think I can read book 1, decide what I think. I've decided that I'm going to try to not force myself to finish series that I didn't love just because I started the series, you know? So I can always give this a try. This was another one that I kept picking up and putting back and picking up and putting back, and I finally was like, you know what, you keep picking it up. It's only $4 for the hardcover, so why not? And it's The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. And I feel like this was super popular 2-ish years ago. When was it published? I feel like I was seeing it all over TikTok and YouTube like 2 years ago. Copyright 2024, yeah. And everybody was talking about it. This young woman comes home. She's never been married a day in her life. And she comes home and her husband answers the door. And suddenly she's thrust into this different life. Her husband goes up into the attic to get something. And a different man comes out claiming that he's her husband too. And I guess we're going to figure out how she's unraveling this situation. But yeah, everybody was talking about this. And I kept picking it up. So I figured maybe that was a sign that I needed to get it. All right, and then this one I'm so excited about. I found this in the YA section as well. It's called Off With Their Heads by Zoe Hannah I'm not going to try here. That's the author. And basically it says, in a world where saints are monsters and Wonderland is the dark forest where they lurk, young witches and lovers Carousel Rabbit and Ichabod Alice Sickle were once imprisoned in that forest for a crime they did not commit, but their freedom came at a devastating cost. So a little Alice in Wonderland retelling. Super excited about that. Last but not least, I have never heard anybody talk about this book either, but it's called The Book of Speculation by Erica Sawyer. Oh, my light just, that's awesome. Last book, and here we are. Sorry about that. But it's called The Book of Speculation, and basically it says this oh, that's the author's note. Simon Watson, a young librarian, lives alone in a house that is slowly crumbling toward the Long Island Sound. His parents are long dead, his mother a circus mermaid who made her living by holding her breath, drowned in the very water his house overlooks. His younger sister Enola ran off to join the circus 6 years ago. One June day, an old book arrives on Simon's doorstep, fragile and water-damaged. The book is from a log of the owner of a traveling carnival in the 1700s who reports strange and magical things, including the drowning death of a circus mermaid. Since then, generations of quote-unquote mermaids in Simon's family have drowned, always on July 24th, which is only weeks away. As his friend Alice looks on him with alarm, Simon becomes increasingly worried about his sister. Could there be a curse on Simon's family? What does it have to do with the book, and can he stop it in time to save Enola? So, traveling circus, magical realism, sign me up. And that is everything that I got from the library book sale. Like I said, nothing that was on my dream list was there, but there was a handful of books, like The Thrillers, The Husbands, and The Maze Runner are the 4 books that were like on my mental TBR or on my Goodreads TBR, or like I've seen so many people talk about them that they were constantly in my brain. But then the rest of them looked so good I couldn't put them back. And you know what? They made the announcement that because of all the book sales last year, they were able to donate $75,000 to support the local libraries. So you know what? I think it's a win. I'm not mad about any of this. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to read these books and do my summer reading program, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.